In this video, we are going to deploy our code onto the server using a third-party package called Fabric. So let's see what is Fabric. Fabric is a high-level Python library designed to execute shell commands remotely over the shell. SSH, yielding useful Python object in return. So basically what Fabric does is it will help us to run some of the shell commands on the server remotely. So just imagine today if I have to deploy some code on my server, what I have to do is I have to SSH to the server. I have to run all the commands like cd to the directory, pull the code, run my migration, run my install packages and everything like that. So all these shell command, they are basically run by this fab file and we don't have to run it manually.
So let's see the Fabric file now. So the task which we want to achieve through this Fabric file are these. So first of all, what we want to do is we want to log into our server, cd to our code directory, activate the virtual environment, pull the latest code which is the master branch, and then upload prod env. So as we in the previous video we know that env files are very important. So we have to upload every time whenever we deploy the code, because there might be possibility that you have changed or added your env files, right? So whenever you code, you keep on adding those env variables. So we know how just to populate those things, we will upload this file every time whenever we change our code. Then we install all the packages, we run the migration, we install all the tasks, and we restart the supervisors. So these are the steps which is as per our current scenario. We only need these steps, so we are running this. Maybe in your case, when your code grows, when your organization grows, you might have different requirement. You can choose, you can have different steps as per your requirement. So yeah, let's go through that. Here in the Git, I just have to pass on the Git URL, and here I have passed on my Git URL. In your case, you just need to change this as per your repo. This is the path. This is the path for my code directory, and you can choose. You can have your own values as per your server configuration or wherever is your code path is. This is my virtual env path, and now this is my production server IP. Since I have only one IP right now, I have just added this one IP. In case you want to deploy multiple servers for the same services, you can do that. And this is the path for my PEM file. And again, these are the stages. So stages define, maybe I can have prod, maybe I can have a dev. So maybe you want to deploy on the developer server just to check, and then you can move to the production. So that's why we have different stages. Right now I'm only referring to production. I can refer to as dev as well. It doesn't make any difference. So yeah, right now it is dev, prod. Right now it is prod. So next we have, if I just minimize the functions, I have one function called print banner. I have one function called print banner. It just prints something in the banner form, something like that. It's just a print function, that's it. And then the main function is deploy. We call this function in order to start the integration. And let me just tell you the main steps. First of all, it will print all those messages what we are going to deploy to the host and what PEM file. Then it makes a connection with the server. Once the connection is established successfully, we cd to the path code directory, and then we just activate our source. After activating our source, we just run checkout our branch, we pull the code, and then that's it. And then we copy the env files. For env file, what we have done essentially is, I'll tell you. What we have done is on the local machine only, just for the sake, what we have done is we have created a env files folder, and over there we have defined a file called env file. This prod env, this is referring to my prod env. You can have your own values. And what it will do is it will simply copy this file onto the server's root folder. That's it. It will copy the content of this file on the server's root folder as .env, and then it will install all the packages. Then it will apply the migration, and then it will restart the supervisor. So these are the steps which we are going to perform on these steps. And let me just show you the settings. It has host. Host are my prod servers. Pem file is my pem file. Code directory is the path for my code, which is this. And then code branch. Generally, this is a master branch. Ideally, you are going to have master branch only, right? You are going to have master branch only, because by default all the production deployment or dev deployment is going to be master. But in case if you have dev as a dev and production as a master, you are free to change your master branch. I'm just deploying through the miscellaneous branch because I have segregated the code that way. And yeah, that's it. So let me just log into the server. Yeah, so I'm on server right now. Currently I'm on master branch. So let's deploy the code. For deploying code, the branch is the command is fab, which is referring to fab file. Then deploy. Deploy is referring to our function deploy, this one. And then it will take parameter which stage name I want to deploy. I want to deploy to prod. So whatever I define in the stages, it has to be that. And make sure that this fab file, they are located in our root folders. The way we are working, it has to be on the root folder. So I'm just saying fab deploy prod, and let's go through what it is doing. So first of all, it says that deploying prod with host file this and fab file this. Then it says switch to branch miscellaneous. Currently I was on branch master. We'll check it out. Now it is copying env file, and then it is installing a package. After all the package, it is applying migration, and there is no migration to apply. Then it is restarting a supervisor. Yeah, so that's it. These are the pretty steps which it has done. And if I just say what is the branch, now I'm on the master branch. So this is how we deploy the code on the production. And if we just want to check if everything is fine or not, let's just open the server. So in .env, I have added localhost as my IP. I have added allowed host as my IP, so that it is now allowing me to log in. Now it is there. And let's suppose let's do a test. What I have done is I have just removed this localhost, this allowed host from the configuration, and I am deploying the code. Right. So now when I deploy the code, my server, it should throw disallowed host error, because essentially my server does not have those settings. Let's see. Yeah, supervisor is restarted. And see, we have started receiving this disallowed host error. That means it is working, and we are successfully able to deploy changes on the server with very minimum effort. And I'll deploy it again, and it should work. So yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you.